before I begin, can everybody hear me? Are there any disturbances? Am I clear? You know, everything like that. Just let me know. Make sure that I know I'm not going to be talking to dead air, and then we can get on with this. Loud and clear? Perfect. All right, that's all I needed to hear. There I go, starting with the fucking ironic VTuber sigh. I don't know, I'm a little nervous. So, I am calling you all here today, and I'm having this stream because I need to comment very seriously on some things that have been happening in this community recently. I want to do so in a more aggressive and more stern way than I have before, because I don't think that I have been anywhere near as stern nor as apologetic as I should have been before. The first thing that I want to say is to everyone who was encouraging me to address these issues and that I became angry with, I am very, very, very sorry. When I looked at those issues and when I looked at everything like that, I think I wanted to convince myself that everything was okay. This career, to me, has felt so incredible that I was very reluctant to assume that anything could possibly be going wrong. And this was wrong of me. It was selfish, and I was treating this career more as a fantasy I was living rather than something I needed to take responsibility for. That is my fault, and I will be taking accountability for it in future. The most important thing, however, that I want to move on to after that is the issue that happened yesterday. So, for those of you who aren't aware, what happened was I had an ASMR stream, which ordinarily would have been a completely normal, just healthy, happy little thing that sensible people could enjoy. But when this happened, a very small, tiny issue happened where Reimu, one of my best friends, joined in chat and asked for help. When I commented on this on my Minecraft stream, I worded it in such a way that made it sound like this was her fault. I was wrong for doing this. I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean for that to be what I wanted to say, but it came off that way. And you are not wrong for thinking that I was being a terrible friend. Well, I didn't think I was being a terrible friend, but it certainly sounded that way. And you're not wrong for thinking that I am that way. I am very, very sorry for having worried anybody. Thankfully, since then, Reimu and I have talked pretty extensively in private. She is okay, I am okay, and we're both still really, really good friends, and we know that what happened was just, between us at least, what happened was a misunderstanding. She and I are okay, and we've apologized to each other. I've had a chance to apologize to her. She knows exactly what I did wrong, and I feel as though, at least between us, that things have cleared up. And that's pretty good. I feel pretty happy about that. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else that I could... So, what I would like to do is I'd like to segue this into something that's very, very important and that I think people have been wanting me to address for a very, very, very long time. So, I think that the reason, or the issue with essentially the way that I addressed what Reimu did was that I tried to say that I understood why some people were upset with her. And the way that this came off was essentially just that I was blaming her. And this wasn't okay. The way that this came off was essentially that I was enabling some fans who had given her a terrible, terrible time. I didn't intend for it to be this way, but that's how it came off, and that is my responsibility, and I'm sorry. The way that this happened was essentially because I, as a person, am really, really, really scared of causing problems. I am pretty terrified of confrontation. I am terrified of conflict, and I am terrified of sort of these things transpiring, right? In this way, I didn't want to come down too hard on any one individual group. I wound up sort of trying to fence sit and please everybody, but in doing so, I pleased nobody. I said something that was pretty nasty, or I thought was fine, but came off nastily, and that's my fault. The reason why I think that I said this wrong was the fact that, I'm going to be honest, well, like I said, I'm scared of standing up to people. But today has to be a day where I stand up to people, because no matter what happened in the last couple of days, no matter what those events were in specific, or in particular, I've sort of thought, or at least I've now come to realize, that those issues were going to happen and some big situation was going to transpire no matter what happened. No matter what happened, something like this was going to happen. And that is because I have not put my foot down regarding a very important issue that I'm going to do so right now. And the reason I haven't done so before is because I'm scared to, like I said, but that needs to change now. With as big of an audience as I have and how much you guys have grown, I need to be able to set firmer boundaries. And I've been scared to, but I'm not scared anymore. You and I are not in a relationship. I care deeply about my fans, but I do not know you. Okay? This thing that has emerged, which I did not anticipate, this thing we've come to call a parasocial relationship, was not something that I saw as getting anywhere near as bad as it did. I was operating under this really silly delusion that I could turn that into something positive for people, that I could convince people through a connection to me to benefit and grow their own lives. I was delusional. I was wrong, and I made this decision, I think, influenced by, to be honest, a degree of selfishness. I was just very enamored by my own success. I was scared of changing anything, and so I didn't. I continued to encourage poor behavior, whether I meant to or not, and this caused the terrible issue that happened the other day. It made one of my friends deeply upset, and it worried pretty much everyone else in this community. It is my fault. And I'm really sorry that I didn't address this in a firmer way earlier. Allow me to do so in a more direct way. You, listening, are not someone that I know personally. When I make content, you are more than welcome to enjoy it in whatever way that you would please. That makes me happy. It really, really does. But you do not know me. I am an entertainer. I am here to make you smile. I'm here to make you laugh. And that's about it. You and I are not in a relationship, nor most likely will we ever be. I know this may be really upsetting to hear, but when it comes to the kinds of things that you have been doing, I can't hold this back any longer. I'm sorry. The fact that I have cultivated a group of fans, and while I would say that there is a degree that while some people are saying it's not my fault, there is a degree of responsibility that I hold, because these are my fans. They're fans who take their, let me think of how to word this, who take their behavior from the way that I encourage them. And what I've seen is my friends be harassed. I have seen collabs that I am not even involved in have fans of mine go in and try to project delusional fantasies onto those streams in the vague hope that they will be addressed. It's gotten to the point where if I take even more than one day off, drama emerges, arguments happen, and anyone who streams that's even vaguely connected to me will be bombarded by chat messages of people who cannot bear to live more than a single day without me. That is not fucking okay. And I am... It's difficult to say this in a way that doesn't sound fake as hell, because this just isn't how I normally talk, and I'm really sorry if this isn't coming off in the way that you want it to come off. I'm just... It's to the point where before, maybe while we were still a smaller channel, maybe that kind of thing would have been okay and I could have turned it into something positive. But I can't anymore. You need to view me as an entertainer. And if you, as a fan, have in my name, as a result of feeling an attachment to me, have gone into someone else's chat, have gone into someone else's DMs, have engaged with a liver, or with any streamer, with any content creator, with one of my friends worst of all, or with another Kindred, or with someone else's fans, and you have flamed, hurt, attacked, or insulted them in any way as a means of trying to benefit the connection between us, I do not want your support. I do not want you on my stream. I do not want to see your face. I do not want to see your name. I do not want to receive a super chat from you. I don't want to receive anything from you. I think that you're a vile fuckhead, like I said earlier, and I do not want anything to do with you. Do you understand? That's the main thing. The main thing that I have been afraid to address for a long time. And it feels pretty good to get out in the open because I have been pretty scared as well. I'm a very open and pretty easily bullyable person. And this has showed itself recently because what I've wound up doing is giving in to people that I thought were my fans. But in actuality, they were some really shitty people. I'm very afraid of addressing issues because when I see individual messages of people saying that they're upset, that affects me pretty deeply. And so when I address these issues and I try to be stern, I feel like I often come off as very soft, much softer than I should be. And that's not okay. I need to do better, and I will be doing better. From this point on, my content will not change because I know that even though, for example, something like the ASMR streams, maybe some people would take that as an excuse to encourage their own shitty behavior. I know that 99% of you are responsible, sane, non-delusional people who really enjoy that kind of stuff as a nice way to relax. That's who that is for. And I would like to leave a very strong fucking reminder for the people who think that they are actually on a date with me when we do ASMR. The word in the title is RP. Role play. I am playing a part. I am acting. I am acting. I am improvising. I am reading chat. And I am having a bit of fun. We are not on a date. And that does not give you an excuse to treat that as an exclusive one-on-one between you and me. I hate to break it to you. I really hate to be the kind of person to break it to you. But in the last stream, I'm not sure why you took so much issue with Reimu showing up, because there were 16,000 other people there. What part of you thinks that we have a one-on-one connection? I don't mean to break anyone's heart, and I'm already feeling a little upset because I don't want to have to do this to anyone, but I'm sorry, you've kind of forced my hand. So where before I said that I only had one boundary, I'm changing it. Beforehand, I said that I wanted people to stop telling me what to do. And I think I made that in poor judgment because, truthfully, it's the people on Twitter and in my comments who originally I was annoyed with who have been calling me out in a really appropriate way. You guys have seen the way that I haven't been addressing these issues, and you've called me out on it, and I think it's finally now that I'm seeing how thoroughly I need to actually take action. And I'd like to, first of all, say sorry for writing you off, and sorry for telling you off for doing so, but I'd also like to say thank you for giving me a second chance. It's you guys who take an interest in the health of my fan base and try to tell me what is working and what isn't working that help these streams survive. And I would not have a job, and I would not get to live this wonderful life if it weren't for all of you. Okay? I'm very, very sorry. Seriously, I am. And I think that the reason I was so angry to begin with was because I had addressed drama so many times in the past that I failed to see how severe of an issue this was becoming. I thought that when I addressed it in the past, that would be the end of it. And it wasn't. I addressed it again. I thought that would be the end of it. And it wasn't. And it was you who held me accountable and kept asking me to be firm and to be serious, that finally I feel as though I am actually making some serious progress. This is a very important thing to me, and I never want to ruin the relationship between myself and, well, it's kind of an ironic thing to say, but I mean relationship in more of a literal sense. Because fan to entertainer is a connection in a sense, but that connection needs to be mediated with sensible conduct and with understanding that you and I have the relationship of an entertainer and a viewer. I am a internet funny man. And you are a person who watches anime characters online. We are not together. Now that said, that doesn't mean that I'm not deeply appreciative for all of the love that I received. And to be honest, I will not stop saying that I love you on stream, because I feel as though I do. When someone says something nice about me, that to me feels like I have a warm feeling inside and I want to say I love you back. There's nothing wrong with that. It is what it is. I think that's fine. It's when you take those issues and you turn them into something shitty. When you, God forbid, and I wish I had said this earlier, and I wish I had addressed this in a more, sooner and in a more severe manner, but I really wanted to say earlier that I cannot fucking believe that I think that was the reason why I was reluctant to address it. I couldn't believe that as many people were sending death threats to Reimu as there were. I struggled to believe it. I truly, truly did. Which is why I think I was under this silly illusion that it was a small minority who was saying these things. I couldn't believe it. And I wanted to believe it was a smaller issue because I was scared of realizing that there was something larger at play. But that has to end today. I'm now realizing how much worse this has become, and this is where it has to end. Okay? So to recap. And I'm also... Yes, one other quick thing that I would like to say about the Minecraft stream. When I said the word trolls, to me that is just a word that means anyone who's being shitty online. I didn't realize that this sounded like it was me downplaying the issue. And I'm sorry for that. That was my fault. But also, I think that to an extent, I kind of was downplaying it, not out of a want to appease anyone, but because I was being a fucking pussy, to be honest. I didn't want to admit that something was terribly wrong, and so I tried to act like it wasn't. That was wrong of me. One of my friends was going through a serious issue, and I tried to act like nothing was wrong. That was wrong of me, and I am so sorry. I am so, so sorry that I have made this, to be honest, 99% beautiful fan base full of really kind, dedicated, and happy people who want to help people grow and to just have a laugh together, that I've made it into a community that has such a terrible reputation. Change in this community begins with me. And with me, that change begins with this stream. Hopefully you can all understand why I need to finally put my foot down, and I imagine a lot of you are quite relieved. But what I will do is I'm going to say... I'll just recap, alright? First of all, actually, before I recap, what I would like to ask, because there are quite a few things that have happened, I have chat open for a reason, because I'm not afraid of criticism anymore. Please, if I have missed anything that you would like me to address, please say. Please say so right now, so that I can bring it up and give you my honest thoughts on it right away. Have I missed something? Tell me what it is. I will apologize for it, and I will address it right here and now. Thank you for telling me to drink water. I have some. Thank you, thank you. I can't believe I almost forgot. Shipping. Ordinarily completely harmless. Ordinarily 100% completely harmless behavior. I think these two would be cute. Isn't that great? In my community, apparently, this has become something immensely toxic. And this needs to stop. It stems from, in a way I think it stems from the issue that I've already addressed with the parasocial fans, but it's different enough that it needs its own statement. When you ship somebody, you do so with the understanding that the people you're shipping most likely are not together, and that it's a bit of fun fantasy where you look at the setting. I'm a demon. I won't say anything, but I won't name any names, but I'm shipped a lot with someone who kind of fits that mold. That's fun, right? Just a little bit of fun for people. Draw some nice fan art. Get thirsty. We all like to have fun here, right? I did a really bad job of covering that up, but, you know, I'm nervous, whatever. There are some people who take that a step further. Recently, when I was on Ike's Ebe stream, there were a lot of messages of people flaming and attacking Ike because I was not spending time with somebody else. They felt that I was cheating on somebody else. This is fucking delusional. Shipping me with someone does not mean that that person and I are together. There are quite a lot of people who seem to be under the foul delusion that even if I was in a relationship with somebody that I am publicly shipped with, which I am not. I would like to very clearly clarify that I am not in any kind of relationship, least of all with anyone who I am shipped with. That if I spend time with another person, that I am somehow cheating on them, and that even less so, that that person that I am spending time with deserves any even remote sort of hate for that reason. Acting this way is despicable, it's wrong, and it's fucking delusional, and you need to seek mental help. I'm going to say that as firmly as I can. If your main source of happiness is attacking someone else because you're so into the idea that I am fucking a fictional character, then you need to seek help. I know that may hurt to hear, but you do. Okay? I am so upset that these obvious concepts need such a firm hand put down, but I am done acting like I don't need to do that. I am done acting like I don't need to be the bigger person. I am through. I am so sick of having to pussyfoot around fans, quote-unquote fans, or you should say aunties, really, who don't value me or my relationships with other people, my friendships with other people, and who don't value their own mental fucking health. I mean, really? Oh. I keep doing the fucking ironic VTuber sigh, I'm sorry. God, I'm very nervous. We have lots of mods, mostly silent mods, who are helping to kind of keep things in check now, and so I think that things are going to be probably a lot easier on them in chat, which is nice. So we've got, so shipping me with someone else is normally fine, but when you do so and you start attacking people, that's fucking despicable, and I don't own you, I don't claim you, I don't want to know you, and I don't want to hang out with you, and you need to seek help. When it comes to the same thing that you believe you're in a relationship with me, we're not. I'm not in a relationship with anybody, and if you think that we're in a if you think that you're genuinely my partner, then you are wrong. I don't know who the fuck you are. And believing so is deeply unhealthy, and you also need to seek help. Beyond that, when I tried addressing the issue with Reimu, my choice of words was extremely poor because I was scared of addressing the issue properly, and this was wrong, and I am so sorry for that. Reimu and I are on much better terms now. I mean, we were never on bad terms because we both knew that everything was okay. She knows that I wasn't genuinely upset with her, and she knows that I wasn't upset with her. And I know that she wasn't upset with me. We were friends through all of this, and we still are. But she is also doing much better now, and so am I. So, now that I have said all of this, first of all, again, I'll come back to you, because this is about you. Would you like me to address something else? Would you like me to address something again, or in a more stern manner? Have I missed something? Because I will stay here for as long as it fucking takes, until I have said everything that I need to say. Babying. What exactly do you mean by that? As though chat trying to convince me that I don't need to be held accountable for certain things? Is that it? I just want to make sure, because amidst all of the other issues, maybe some have kind of passed me by, I want to make sure that I address everything properly. If someone could describe that issue for me thoroughly. Right, well... Okay, I can do that. Again, I imagine stemming from the issue of parasocial relationships. I am not your husband, I am not your boyfriend, I am not your wife, I am not your partner, I am not your lover, but I'm also not a fucking baby. Okay? I'm sorry for giving in to this kind of thing sometimes, because to be honest, I think at some points I can be pretty childish, and I can get anxious easily, and sometimes reassurances can make me feel... I can err on the side of reassurance pretty easily, you know, and when people give me that sort of attention, I can lean into it harder than I need to, and this encourages bad behavior, and for that, that's my part to play, and I'm sorry. I'm really fucking sorry for that. What you, Kindred, need to understand is that I am an adult, and I can make my own decisions. I appreciate criticism. I do. I've learned to appreciate that now. I think before I was always way too blasé about blasting off criticism and reminding people that I knew what I was doing, but I think honestly, there's an extent to which I kind of don't really know what I'm doing. There's an extent to which I think I need to do better. I don't want to be babied by anyone anymore, and I don't want anyone to make me I'm trying to think of how to word this, because I didn't go in prepared to talk about this. The most important thing to remember is that when I face criticism, you should allow me to face criticism. Everyone is capable of making mistakes, and as we've seen over the past couple of days, and if anything, with a broader issue over the past few months, I am just as capable of that as anyone else. I will only learn from these mistakes if I'm held fucking accountable. Okay? The most important thing that I want from all of you is that if I do something wrong, that I am held accountable, okay? Because it's with this... Sorry. I'm sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought. I just want to make sure I say this correctly. Let me start over. I would encourage you to, if I make a mistake, to openly criticize me as much as you would like. It may hurt me from time to time, but if I make a mistake, I would like to hear about it, okay? And to anyone in chat who sees someone criticizing me, well, it's difficult because, okay. Yes, I think that generally criticism should be allowed. Generally, it should be allowed. And if I allow for criticism, and if on stream I say, hey, please let me know what I'm doing wrong, what should I do better, what's this, what's that, I would like it very much if chat would not attack them back, leave them be, because if they're giving helpful, constructive criticism, likely they're also a fan who wants to help me grow, right? There is a distinction between criticism and hate, however. Criticism is, you should do this differently. This is something that you should do instead. And I understand that. I think before I was greatly pissed off when I was openly criticized because I felt like I was doing a good job, but clearly I've needed to do more in that front. And I was wrong for saying those things before, and this is how I would like things to be now. Hate, on the other hand, is what we've seen over the past few days. Hate is saying unwanted, useless, vitriolic garbage because you need an outlet and you're not treating a streamer like a human being. We are human beings. We're normal people who have feelings, and criticism is something that we need to learn to take, but none of us deserve hate. Even after everything that I've done wrong over the past couple of days, I don't deserve death threats any more than the other person, okay? Least of all, who deserves death threats are my friends. And so, again, kind of pivoting back because I really want to fucking, like, hammer this one home. If you attack any of my friends or any other livers as a result, I do not want you on my streams. You're a piece of shit, and I don't like you. End of story. The last thing that I will address, because I've seen it a fair bit in chat, is that people want me to tone down some of my content in regards to what's being collateralized. I don't know, is that a fucking word? What's being described, sorry, as BFE, or the boyfriend experience. I understand the concern regarding this, but to be honest, I don't want to change what has made the majority, the 99% of my fans, who are sensible, happy, well-fulfilled people who enjoy just something harmless like that. I don't want to punish them for the bad actions of some people who have taken it in a really shitty direction. That's how I feel about that. I don't want to change that. And I think that it's something that the majority of really sensible people have engaged in a nice way. I don't want to change that. What I would like to say is that if you do engage with that kind of stuff, and perhaps I should give some sort of a disclaimer when we go into it, I've already addressed trauma dumping at length, and that's kind of not been a problem since, so just to address that. But essentially, perhaps before we do anything that's particularly heavy on that side of things, I can leave a disclaimer reminding people that I am not their fucking boyfriend. This is all just a bit of fun pretend stuff that people use if they this is just what the content that they like. It's the content that I like to make, and it's the content my fans like to watch. I don't want to deprive the fans of mine who have been lovely and respectful and nice because of the actions of a small number of really awful, shitty people. They don't deserve that, okay? I like doing ASMR, and I think that my fans like it too. I'm not willing to change that for the actions of a few very small, shitty people. That's the main thing. If it proves to be a continuous and terrible issue that will sort of stagnate and grow and get worse over time directly because of that kind of content, then I will reevaluate and I will think about that. Like I've said, I'm so much more recently, you know, because I want to open myself up to it, I am more open now to criticism. And if it is still a problem, I trust you to let me know so that I can change these things. I don't want to foster an environment where things become shitty. I really, really, really don't. But for the time being, I don't want to punish my nice fans who have been lovely for the content and by removing content that they enjoy. I don't think that's fair on them. I really don't. So hopefully, by addressing the fact that you should not form a parasocial connection to me, that if this happens, when we do something and when we have fun together in a sort of a BFE type of way, that you understand it's not fucking real. It's not fucking real. It's role play. We are having a bit of banter. We're having a good time. You just enjoy hearing kissy noises in the mic and listening to someone with a nice voice. And that's valid. That's nice. I like creating that kind of content. I think it's nice. But it's taking that a step further and believing that you and I are in a relationship and then taking that as an excuse to attack people that is absolutely fucking disgusting. And if you engage in that behavior, get off of my stream right now and never come back. Okay? Okay. Thank you guys very much for coming. Please, I will ask you one more time, just to make sure that I've addressed everything, because this is the last thing. Hopefully I've set my foot down hard enough that I'm able to lay these issues to rest. Please, if you would like me to address something in further detail, or to address something that I've forgotten about, because there might be something else that I have forgotten, please let me know. The people not wanting me to collab with others sort of stems from the parasocial problem, and what I would like to say about this is pretty fucking simple. I am going to collab with whoever the fuck I want to collab with. I am friends with some really talented and cool people, and I want to spend time with them. I do not owe you shit. Least of all, I do not owe you the right to tell me who I can or cannot collab with. I want to make content with lots of people. I want to make content with my male liver friends. I want to make content with my female liver friends. I want to make friends with people in NIJISANJI, and I want to make friends with people in the indie scene as well. There is nothing that you can do to stop me from collabing with someone that I care about and that I enjoy hanging out with. And if this bothers you, you should not watch the collab, and better yet, you should just not watch me at all. I don't claim you, and I don't want to hang out with you. Sorry. The biggest thing that I think I've learned is how much responsibility I really, really have when it comes to these kinds of things. Beforehand, I was looking at this and I saw the breadth of the issues, and I genuinely felt kind of powerless. I thought that there was nothing that I could do and that my best option was to leave it. I'm so glad that I was held accountable by these people, by you guys who have told me that clearly what I need to do to make these things better. And I'm so glad that now I feel like I've really addressed these things properly. I have a lot of faith in where we can go from here. I have a lot of faith in what we can do in future, and I really don't want to fall into a cesspit where I am growing a group of fans that is growing a negative connotation attached to it. This won't change. I do love you guys. That's something that I feel. When I think about the Kindred as a whole, I feel a sense of warmth. That's not going to change. That's who I am. And I love you too much for you to become poisoned by a group of really fucking awful, shitty individuals who treat that word, love, so literally that they think it only belongs to them. It doesn't. Newsflash, there are almost 800,000 of you motherfuckers, and all of you deserve a little bit of love, okay? Jesus Christ. Rotten apples do spoil the barrel, and I think... Well said, chat, but I think the issue for me was that I underestimated. I truly did underestimate the number of bad apples that we had. I thought it was a smaller issue than it was because I was ignorant and I didn't want to address the issues as thoroughly as I should have. That was me being pretty cowardly, pretty unwilling to face reality, and that is my fault. And to everyone who has been hurt, worried, or just in general fallen foul of something nasty as a result of my inaction, I am fucking sorry. I am really sorry, and I hope that you can forgive me. Genuinely, I am. Okay. I think that that's the majority of what I wanted to say. So to recap, do not form a parasocial attachment to me. I am not your friend. I am not your dad. I am not your boyfriend. I am not your husband. I am not your wife. I am none of those things. I am a streamer. If you hang out with me and you think, oh, he has dad energy, or if you think, oh, he's kind of hot, whatever. Just bear in fucking mind that you are here to enjoy a show, not to hang out with someone who you think knows you personally, because I hate to break it to you, I don't. Do not send any hate, death threats, vile vitriolic shit to anybody. Not just other livers, not just people in the indie community, not just any of that. Do not send these things to people in general. If you do, you are taking advantage of a community where I have been too kind to you, because I have, and I will take responsibility for that. I've been too kind to you, and clearly I need to start being a bit fucking mean. If you do that, do not come back to this fucking stream. I am deeply disappointed in you, and I do not want to see your face or name ever again. Sending hate or death threats to anybody, least of all that I fucking care about, including Reimu, who is one of my best friends, who welcomed me into NIJISANJI EN with a warm reception, helped me get settled in, and made me feel like I had someone to hang out with. If you attack her again, I will be fucking livid, because she is the sweetest person I have ever met. And I feel absolutely fucking repugnant for having not stood up for her earlier. I was cowardly and I was selfish and I didn't do it as much as I wanted to. And to her, even though I've said it 1,000 times, I'm so sorry. Okay. I think that from what I'm seeing... Yes, and when it comes to ASMR streams that are more mature, personally, I would like to believe that most people who watch this content are over 18, but in the instance they're not, when it comes to something that's very explicit, like an ASMR stream, I will, from now on, and I would trust you guys, please hold me accountable if I forget, because I'm a very forgetful and unorganized person, I will try to leave a pinned comment at the top of every single ASMR stream that reminds people that the vast majority of the time they are intended for audiences that are 18 and over. Because they are pretty sussy. And I don't intend to change that because a lot of us are adults who can engage in that in a fun and respectful manner, but some people aren't. Okay. I think that's the depth of everything I wanted to say. So, again, from just as a whole, for everything that I've done, for everything that I haven't done, for the inaction, for the ways that I've made you sad, for brushing off criticism, and for getting angry at people trying to help, I am deeply, deeply sorry. I was selfish, I was ignorant, and changing that begins today. I will try really, really hard to stick within this mindset, and I will try really, really, really hard not to let anything like this happen again. Okay? Thank you. Alright, I feel much better now. Thank you guys for listening. I've been having a real tizzy trying to figure out how to sort this because I felt terrible about having caused these problems, but I feel much, much, much better now. Thank you, Shoto. I love you too, man. Alright. That is all from me. I'm just going to end stream now. And, yeah. So, what I would also like to say, in the same subject as not changing my content, because I think that the majority of the people who enjoy it are pretty well behaved, I'm also not going to be taking a break. I understand it's kind of normal for some streamers who get involved in controversy to take a break. Like I said, I don't want to punish people who've been being well behaved, so we will just continue with the schedule as normal. I don't feel the need to take a break. I feel pretty fired up about having a week of content that is affected by this new firm establishing of my boundaries, and so I just don't want to let that interrupt a nice week of content. So tomorrow we're going to be playing the closing shift, and I'm excited to do so. So that's all from me. If you've been well behaved and you haven't caused any problems, I love you. I'm really happy to see you again, and I can't wait to see you for another fun stream tomorrow. Thank you guys very, very much for your patience, your understanding, and for giving me a second chance. I really, really appreciate it. And I hope that in future, when I come into these issues again, as I imagine I will, I'll try not to, but if I do, hold me accountable. Tell me what I'm doing wrong, and I will do my best to fix it. Okay? Thank you. Seriously, I've had a pretty rough couple of days trying to figure out how to sort this, and I feel much better now. So, thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye!